We are back
Hey.
with our third episode. We have the lovely Naelis Ervin, who was also on the great show, the Unnamed Music Show. She's one of the hosts.
Yes. I only did like 2 or 3 episodes, but hey, it counts for something, right?
Yeah, I guess. You want to call
He's
it
making
that.
a lot of noise back
Yeah,
there.
we always got the co-host, my man,
Mickey Duke.
True.
He said Mickey Dunn. So, we definitely here with Naelis. And Naelis said that she didn't like me. And I just want to know, why don't you like me? We start off from the top. We only got like an hour, so. Everybody complained about how long the other episode was, but I thought it was great.
We have this relationship where you're a know-it-all, right?
Wow, me?
And you're not accustomed, I guess, to people telling you about yourself. So sometimes I feel like I got to do that. It's like, y'all look out for you look out for me, you know?
So it comes from love.
Hold on, what was that, Mickey?
It comes from love.
No.
She loves me.
Wow, okay.
She loves me.
All right. You're pushing it. Let's go to the next topic.
All right,
We're
well,
moving
whatever.
along.
All right. So, Naelis.
Yes.
So, how's your summer been?
Summer's been pretty interesting. This is my first summer since I've been a teenager without a job. So I've been, a job where I get paid every 2 weeks. I'm pretty much just an artist struggling out there.
What is your
But
art?
Theater. I do dramatic work.
Really?
I direct. I produce. I perform. Whatever you pretty much want me. Well, it's not.
Wait.
Let's stop right there.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I actually performed in Artscape this year, which is a big accomplishment.
Wow.
So,
Nobody
yeah.
knows what Artscape is. What is Artscape?
2013.
What is that?
Artscape is a wonderful event that the city of Baltimore puts on every year. It's actually nationally known. I actually saw a segment on Today's Show where they were shouting out Baltimore for Artscape. So that's
What?
great. Yes. But it's pretty much free art. You finished? Okay. No, but it's pretty much free art for everyone in the city to see. It's visual art, performing arts. They have live, structures and things. It's beautiful. They have artists that come from all over. They do music. They have, like I said, theater.
So, what did you do?
We did a show called the Double X Chromosome Genome Project.
What was that?
The Double X Chromosome Genome Project. It was written by my friend S.N. Johnson. We went to Penn State together. Shout out to Shernay.
Nice.
She is a up-and-coming playwright here in Baltimore. She actually works for WJZ in the meantime, but she's also an artist, is looking to get her work out there. And she was fortunate enough to have it picked up by Artscape this year.
Awesome.
And we had a chance for, some different parties to see it. It was amazing.
Nice.
Great
Now, what
opportunity.
role did you play in the XX
I was
chromosome?
Caramel. I was a Latina this year, and I was portraying a young inner city female who was going through, the struggle of
The Stokey Brothers. You gotta know that's from.
Wow, they didn't cut me off when I'm trying to
I'm
explain.
sorry,
the role.
I had like Rosie Perez in my head, and White Men Can't Jump, man.
All right. Anyway,
great movie. Sorry, great movie. by
But
the way.
yeah, I was a young Latina in the inner city, just trying to make it and trying to beat the statistics and everything. So that was my role this time. In the past I played Chocolate, which is
Right.
the African American girl, and I played Milk Chocolate. That was a role that was just in and out for the New York show. But yeah, Caramel is my go-to role.
Nice.
Yes.
Got any questions,
he sees
Mickey?
it.
I'm just listening to the. I'm listening. I'm
Okay.
in listen
Nothing
mode.
to say.
All
Cool.
right, so when you're ready to talk, just grab the mic, because we on a budget. We only got 2 mics, and there's 3 of us in the room. So, all right. So that was like, I'm pretty sure that was a pretty good experience for you, right?
It was. I'm not from Baltimore, but I've been here for some years, and I never really. This is my first time.
Hold on,
actually.
where you from?
I'm from Brooklyn, the
Really?
greatest borough of all time. Why are you upset about that? Everybody that's not from Brooklyn is upset about people from Brooklyn. I've noticed that. Even people like from Queens and like other neighboring boroughs. I don't know what the hate is, but Brooklyn is definitely the greatest borough and city ever. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, tell me something that's bad about Brooklyn. Go. Quiet, exactly. Specifically, I'm from Flatbush.
I see what they produce.
So that's my.
Not that good.
Okay, so anyway, Brooklyn, I am from Brooklyn, yes, but the neighborhood I'm from is called Flatbush. Flatbush is like every West Indian country island you possibly know, all wrapped in one. So just imagine all the food, the culture, the music, the people.
That sounds like hell.
Is that where
It can
Biggie's
be.
from?
Is that where who's from?
where Biggie's from?
Nah, Biggie is from Bed-Stuy, sorry. Yes, Bedford-Stuyvesant, yes.
You ever heard of the Flatbush Zombies?
Have I ever heard of?
Flatbush Zombies?
Yes, I have. Actually, I believe I had this conversation with Dalen Jones, who's also a host.
Who's that?
Really? He's your friend.
He's a nobody.
He's also a host
He's a
of the
nobody.
Unnamed Music Show.
Don't ever mention him again.
Okay, but We really are going off on tangents. I think we started with Artscape.
That's the show. That's the show. Well, we went from Artscape to Brooklyn to zombies.
Cool. We can talk about Brooklyn all day. That's fine.
No, we prefer not to.
I love Brooklyn. Like, I'm actually trying to move back.
Nice. Let's talk about that. Why are you trying to move back?
You're gonna leave? No.
I mean, I'm considering it. Strong consideration. I actually got a call today for a job. We'll see how that turns out. But in the meantime, yeah. I mean, Brooklyn is always going to be home. I have my friends, my family there. It's just a place where I can always connect with something or someone, and I feel like I'm at peace when I'm there. There's a lot going on, yes, but that's the kind of person I am. I'm restless, so I need that move. I need that drive. I need something to keep pushing me, and the challenges, the pushback, all of that.
Nice. So you're down for the struggle.
Hey, I've been struggling. Why stop now? That's all.
I hear that.
I mean, I would like to stop now, but I'm just saying.
Right.
It's not going to kill me.
So what's bringing you to this point where you want to like move to back home? What's up with that?
All right, so college graduate,
Nice.
Just touching on little jobs here and there. But I haven't found the artistic satisfaction I need here in Baltimore as of yet. I've been, graced with some great opportunities with Shernay. We've been doing the plays and things here.
Right.
But I need that extra level of culture and depth in the arts. And I feel like New York can give me that. And then just being in Brooklyn, being familiar with the area and what have you, I can be exposed to that there. I don't have to go too far out west. I'm, got the familiarity here.
But that's all here.
Okay, I'm not saying it's not. Obviously, I've been able to do a couple things, but I feel like I need to get to the next level so I can grow as an artist.
I just want to say
what you got to say.
That we need you to stay. All right?
You need me to say?
Yeah, I mean, as much as
it's not that far. Like, I can have a car. I can definitely drive and visit and do these shows on the regular.
No. I mean, since we don't get along.
I come back from Mickey Dunn. I definitely would.
What the?
I mean, he's a fellow Sagittarius. Shout out to all the Sagittarius out there. Yes? No? Mickey, you have nothing to say?
Nobody ever
celebration.
Nobody ever said shout out.
One word commentary.
Nobody ever said shout out to the cancers.
Nobody cares about the cancers. I'm sorry. Like, people with cancer, maybe. People with cancer, maybe, but not the zodiac sign.
That's a crab.
It's a crab. My sister's a cancer. Shout out to her, Naima Eve. She's a
so
cancer,
cool,
July 15th. But there's such emotional beings. They're just a mess emotionally. And Al, I really feel like you are the epitome of a true cancer.
Can you explain the pros and cons of a Sagittarius?
Sure. Okay. First of all, they're only pros. And all the pros are the amazing creativity behind them. Think about the amazing people that have paved the way creatively. I mean, people like Jay-Z. You got people like Walt Disney. These are like the Naelis, Mickey Dunn, me and Diddy. I mean, come on. We're Sagittarius. Like, this is what we do. This is what we live for. We breathe, sleep. I mean, this creativity is just in us. We're leaders, by default. We have strong opinions, strong minds. We really make the way for the people like cancers.
I agree with that. You know what? I'm not into I don't read into the zodiac things like that. So
think about it.
But I always hear creativity.
Mm-hmm.
I always hear, and I always hear free spirit.
Yeah,
have you heard that too?
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely feel like I'm connected to the free spirit thing. I like to just be free.
Mm-hmm. And find your own way. You don't really need anybody.
Yeah. I like to create my own journey. I don't like when people try to tell me what the journey's going to be. Yep. I want to make the journey what I want it to be.
Exactly. Speak.
You guys are also selfish. Let's stop talking about you guys and keep going on with.
But we're selfish for the right reasons. It's not about,
I don't believe in the zodiac. I just think you can put any positive thing on any of the things in the zodiac, and they'll be like, yeah, that's it.
There's some of them. There's some people. I mean, every zodiac to me, they have some positive, characteristics. But then I just feel like we're just dominant. That's all it is. Bias,
what's
yes.
The age, what's the age range for Sagittarius?
Age range?
Really.
Dates. It's November. It's the 20. I think November 22nd, 23rd probably, and it ends mid-December as well.
So when's your birthday?
December 7th.
Nice.
Pearl Harbor Day. Yes.
Pearl Harbor Day.
Is that December 7th, 1941? No history lesson over here, but hey.
That's an actual day?
Yes.
Do we got a school for that?
Wow. You graduated from what college? Let us know.
There was a Pearl Harbor Day. Nikki, did you know about that?
Yes, you did. Say it that you did.
Know.
Yes, you did.
You said did not know. Thank you.
It's okay.
No, I didn't know. Wait a minute. Did we get off of that day? Does anybody know?
We don't get off.
Okay,
it's December 7th, 1941. I didn't say it was a holiday. It's the day of. Okay, let's move on. I'm not here to school y'all. But it's cool.
Damn. All right.
That's what Sagittarius do. We do stuff like that.
All right, so let me ask you a question.
What's up?
Sorry, so you're going to New York. What is your ideal plan once you get to New York? I mean, what's going
on? The reason I want to go now, like I said, I have nothing really holding me back. I have no husband, I have no kids. I'm young. I know.
Wait, are you single? Are you in a relationship?
I'm not single. I am in a relationship. That's a really good story. I'll tell you about that after. No, but yeah, I'm going to New York. Pass. Did you say something?
Go ahead.
Going to New York to pretty much be available to take classes that I want to enhance my art, my craft.
And that's acting, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd also like to take up some different levels of choreography, touch on some different, fields in that area, just so I can be well-rounded and be a little bit more exposed to things.
Can you dance? I mean, like, you can create
besides
different
in the mirror?
dances. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely hold it. I'm really good with rhythm. That sounds so. Okay, that's just my head.
Wow.
All right, let's switch it back. Take it back.
Is that something sad you too?
But yeah, I hold rhythm. I'm actually a stepper. Like, I love to step.
Oh, so you know.
I choreograph step.
Can you?
We need a video in here.
No. Can we just for our viewers? Can you please?
No, what they can do is they can go to YouTube and they can check out my video. Can you step? KANU. The letter U. Step. Actually, I was in a competition while I was at Penn State in 2008, and I choreographed a nice routine for my kids. I work with the kids a lot. And it's about 4 or 5 of them, I think, in the video. We competed against some high school kids and crushed them. Yes, I said it.
They got served, huh?
They got served.
Well, let me ask you a question. Being that you are a Nittany Lion.
Sir.
Really? Being that you're a Nittany Lion, how do you feel about this whole the situation with the
With the
you know what that is.
Speak on it. Tell me. This be elaborate for the people that don't know.
About the
Sandusky?
The Sandusky situation.
All right, so here's how this goes.
All right, here we go. This is coming from a true Nittany Lion.
So I attended Penn State University, the Pennsylvania State University. I had the privilege of going to a branch campus, which is, the satellite campuses, which is Penn State Mont Alto. And then I went to the main campus for 2 years.
So wait a minute, how does this work? Is there like a feeder system? Is like you move up the ranks? Is it like a bracketing thing, or you have to work your way up the main campus?
You don't have to. Some people can start at main campus if they choose to. It depends on your GPA. I chose to go to a branch campus because it's embarrassing. But I had a boyfriend in high school, and I wanted to go to Penn State, but I wanted to be close to home. That was the closest campus. The end. That's how I started there.
She's lying.
Mickey has something to say. That's definitely the reason.
So I mean it. So that shows loyalty. Like, you really had a
but that backfired. He definitely cheated on me. But it's okay.
Wait, a quick question. This is totally. Do you think there's always a reason for cheating, or do you think sometimes there's no reason whatsoever?
Hold on, Mickey. Let's finish the story first, and then we're
gonna
go back.
Yeah,
hold on.
Hold that thought.
Hold that one. Pause on that one. All right. That's a good one though. All right, let's go. All right, Sandusky, and go.
All right, so people don't really understand. They couldn't understand, I guess, the average Penn Stater's loyalty to their school when all this is going on. It's like it's about the kids, and it's bigger than that. It's cool, but just like how something happens in your family, you want to protect your name. You know that there's more than that person that caused that problem.
Right.
So that was how we felt. Penn Staters all over, even if you went there for 1 year, it was just like, this university is so much more than this major case. Yes, it was, it was crazy how everything turned out and all the trifling behavior that occurred, but our university was so much more. The people we met there, the opportunities we had, as far as employment, as far as just the education and knowledge we got from our professors, our friends, and other mentors on campus. It was just so much more than this trial that everybody in the world was seeing.
Right.
But again, you had to be there and understand the family of Penn State and the people that we continue to see and interact with on a day-to-day basis. Like, Penn State family, I went there, I didn't get a chance to graduate from there, but they're still like my family to this day.
Would you say it's like a cult?
I wouldn't say it's a cult. I would think that it's a school that has great school pride, and they have had that instilled from day one. They teach you to respect your school, to love your school, to understand that this is an elite institution.
And also #1 party school too. Go ahead.
That's okay, and
that's
fine.
That's fine. I mean, it really is. Penn State, at least up until two
and
years
you have
ago.
What school did you go to again? What school did you graduate from?
I went to Harvard.
Yeah, okay, you're lying. Let's try that again. You went where?
DeVry.
Okay, come on now.
I went to the Honorable Winston-Salem State University in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, my hometown. Yeah.
That's trash.
Go Marching Rams.
What do you have to say about that, Mickey Dunn?
See, North Carolina.
Oh, that's it.
Shout out to Charlotte.
I mean, we've only done like 2 episodes, and I'm tired of speaking of North Carolina, and I always bring it up.
I'm tired of you speaking about North Carolina.
I am too, actually.
Saying.
So yeah, let's yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
You're supposed to pick up your town.
I love my town. I love my town. You know,
I bet you do.
I finally got my degree.
It's home of Dudley,
No,
like
this
the
is
hair
funny.
products and stuff.
That's Greensboro.
I mean North Carolina. I thought you were talking about the state itself.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry.
It doesn't really matter.
I finally got my diploma after 6-7 years.
That's beautiful.
Finally got it in the mail.
And you know what? As long as you got it.
No. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that later. It goes back to how HBCUs are kind of.
We gotta talk about HBCUs. I had
we'll
some really interesting comments
we'll get
on Facebook I wanted to talk about. But yes.
Oh, wait. And we also got to talk about your situation with this is the last time people that we're going to talk about that. You got to talk about what happened with you in the Trayvon Martin situation.
Yes.
We're going to talk about that. But wait.
All right, but back to Penn State.
Let's get back. All right, go.
Damn, sidetracking like a mother.
We got to start writing this stuff down. I'm going to write it down so we won't forget.
He's not going to write it down.
I am.
Definitely has no ink in that pen. This conversation is getting reckless.
All right, go ahead.
Did he just growl?
There.
No, it was not. What was that?
Alley cat.
That was ridiculous. That's what it was. What's Winston-Salem's mascot? He doesn't know.
It is. His name is Armani the Ram.
Shouts out to Armani the Ram. Shouts out to Armani the Ram. What, Armani?
So over you.
It's Armani, yeah.
I don't even want to address it. Forget the mascot. Yeah, go Penn State. We are Penn State. That's what I had to say.
MSU.
And I honestly think it's kind of sad that, Joe Pa's legacy. I honestly think it's going to go down in the history books as like a cautionary tale.
So let me ask you this. Did you know that Mr. Joe Paterno had donated a library to our university? Did you know any of that? You weren't exposed to that information, were you? Via the media.
What, you talking about Penn State?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he donated a lot.
No, I mean, like, you weren't informed about that. Like, how they took down his statue and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. But we have an amazing library on our campus. I mean, absolutely beautiful. It's huge. All kinds of literature and whatnot inside. Of course, it's a library.
That should be in a library.
Right, it should be. But there's artifacts. There's a whole bunch of things in there. They have museum
Artifacts?
exhibits. Yes, listen carefully. But yeah, Joe Paterno, this was what he put towards his university, towards his school, but still standing. I mean, he did some positive things. I don't really follow football, but I remember reading. I know, don't look at me like that. It's not my particular sport of interest, but I remember reading how the people that were playing during that time were not going to get their, what was it? Help me out here.
Scholarship?
No, not even that. The people that played in
eligibility. Because I know
let me bring it back.
They could transfer to another school and still keep their eligibility.
The people that played and that just say they won their Heisman, whatever.
Oh,
whatever,
they didn't get
like none of that stuff was recorded anymore. Like that was just like null and void. Now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They got stripped of everything.
That's crazy though.
Sanctions.
Had nothing to do with them. Yeah. I mean, would that just diminish Joe Pa as a individual?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But because of that,
I think, I hate to, speak ill of the dead. I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's hard. I think, unfortunately, him being dead doesn't allow him to really defend himself. It's sort of kind of like Trayvon type of situation where, I'm saying, but like just connecting the dots on when you die and people don't have the full story, it's hard to really defend your name. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, basically, coaches, everybody that knows football knows these coaches run the colleges. That's the one thing that's really, because football program is the program that makes the money for the schools. So
athletics,
for the athletics. So it's like, these guys are able, and I think you see a lot of that. I think the one thing that is he did bring it to them. What they decided to do with it, I think, because I liked him as a coach prior to that. So it still hasn't been shown how much he knew or didn't know. All they know is that he did take it to the proper people. I'm sure a university hearing something like that, it's crazy because it's illegal, and somehow the name, but these colleges, they don't want their name to be in any type of, it's a brand.
Scandal,
it's a brand. It's a business. So it's like, Penn State, do you want to send your kids to Penn State where, kids are being sodomized? I mean, probably not.
It's not funny at all.
No, probably not. The one person that I think should really, really get it is the guy that walks in the room and sees that stuff. Like, what can you be confused about? Like, what's confusing?
Well, when you say get it, In what context are we speaking?
Wait a minute. Repeat what? Wait a minute.
The guy that should really get it.
Okay. The guy that should get some of the blame.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clear
some of the
up.
blame.
Okay.
Yeah. With sodomization and all this other stuff. Yeah. The guy that should get the blame is the guy. I mean, when you look at something happening like that, first of all, there's an ass woman that's about to go down for you trying to do that to a kid. It's happening. It's going to happen.
So,
now I'm gonna tell you, put your boxes on first before this
you're
ass
not fighting
woman
nobody.
I'm not fighting you naked. Okay. I'm not fighting you naked.
I'm just saying,
I'm not doing that. I'm not. This ain't jail. I'm not locked up. I wish that on no man, but no. We're like, hey man, put the kid down. Put your boxes on right now.
So let me ask you this: you walk in, you see this event occurring.
Pray to God never.
Okay,
that this
but
ever
God
happens.
forbid
But
you do.
we're going
God
down the
forbid
road.
you do. You go, you see this brother in there doing what he's doing. You say or do what next?
Hey.
You say, hey. Okay.
Hey. What are you doing?
Okay. He doesn't stop. What do you do next?
Stop, man.
You're gonna tell him to stop. Okay.
Stop.
He stops. Okay, let's say he stops. The child leaves.
Lord.
What have you? What's your next?
Put your clothes on.
Okay, he puts his clothes on. Then what do you
Ass
do?
whooping is commencing
Okay,
right
then,
at that
now
point.
you don't know this kid. You just protecting him as a grown man, saying
Yeah,
that this is unfair.
you're not raping no little boys in this area around me.
Around you. You can do it somewhere else. We can't do it around you. Ooh, this is touching.
I'm just, I'm not.
I got you.
If I see it, it's not going down now. He walked out of there and got some people. It's like, but you're going to let him still get raped?
Okay.
You got to stop the rape.
Okay.
You got to at least stop the rape.
People that are not looking, Al is hysterical. I mean, because he's yellow. He's turning red right now. He's a high yellow brother, and he is extremely red.
It was funny. All my friends, I asked that question. I was like, yo, so if he went out and got help, did they stop the rape? Did you say no? Stop that part of it.
We
Stop.
weren't there.
Stop.
We gotta move on. Jeez. My goodness.
She put the tiger down like she was.
And I don't agree with you per se, Mickey.
You don't
Dunn.
agree?
I don't agree with Mickey Dunn because.
What?
That's why.
Okay.
Oh, he's
we're
upset.
gonna. What is that?
Uh-oh.
The spirit is here. Joe Pa came back.
Don't like it.
We just have you know that the computer just came on with some random sound.
It's the spirit of Kanye West.
Kanye West said he don't like that.
He did say he was God, right?
What is?
Yeah, I know. Jesus.
Jesus
That
is
was
back.
weird, man.
We had
Yeah.
Jesus.
All right. So the reason I don't agree with you, Mickey Dunn, is that we kind of do know the full story of what happened with the whole Penn State University thing.
You know,
I
they
think we
say
do
there's
know.
two sides to the story.
Yeah,
and then
but
there's the truth.
See, yeah, okay.
Preach.
All right.
Poetic moment.
Yeah, so
I don't believe that though. That's what they say though.
All right, so like I think Joe Pa's situation, he went to said, hey man, we got a rapist going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hide your kids, hide
What
your
did he
wife. We got a rapist going on. Like
We got a rapist going on. Okay.
It made no sense, but
At all. What's that Winston-Salem education, right? I'm sorry.
so yeah. It's just interesting that happened to, Joe Pa. And it's like, that just shows you, like, he was really passionate for it, what he was doing, because as soon as that happened, that dude died. Like, Joe Pa died like a week later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You all right? You about to cry.
A little bit.
Are you serious?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
It's sad, though. It's sad, but
It
I'm
is
not-
sad.
I'm not
I
shedding
feel sorry
tears
for that
right now.
old man, because, like,
It was sad.
he was, like, coaching for, like,
That's where his
90-some
heart was.
years.
That's where it was.
Yeah, and he just died.
Rule book on that type of stuff.
It-
That's the thing that people, I think, outside looking in.
But see,
There's
there is no rule book,
type of
but
stuff.
Penn State try to protect the name, and
Yeah.
that means more. And I know a lot of people that I work with that went to Penn State, diehard Penn State people. A lot of them went just for Joe Pa, just for that energy, for his spirit.
That's something. That's what I'm saying. Like being a Penn Stater and being in that atmosphere. That's something you can't even put into words. Like you have to really experience that livelihood, the blue and white weekends, and all the games. I ain't never been to a game, but just been outside of one though. The energy is crazy. That's all I'm saying. Like, see, people don't understand. Like when I transferred to Morgan, when they told me I didn't need to pay for a game, like I just need to show my ID. Morgan State University, yes. There was definitely like a shock because Penn State, regardless if you're a student or not, you need to pay for a ticket.
Oh, that's bad.
And if you could find one, I mean, like especially good games, the chances of getting into a game was like slim to none. And I wasn't about to pay for something I really wasn't even interested in at the time. So, hey, that's all I'm saying. But yeah, Penn State is where it's at. It's my foundation.
So
I always
what-
have respect for that university.
So what made you go to Morgan State?
See, now Penn State, It's out of state, first of all, which means it's going to be more money.
Now, you were in New York at this time, or you were here?
I was in Baltimore. Okay. My family was living. We had just relocated to Baltimore.
Okay.
But
how was that transition? Were you like crying and hurt?
Man, I ran away.
Really?
It was only for like a couple hours though. Like I really didn't go nowhere. I called and was like, I need somebody to come pick me up. I was definitely on Security Boulevard.
She could be dramatic, everyone.
I was on Security.
Call back from last week.
Wait a minute, how old were you when you made this move?
I was 14 going on 15.
No.
Wait a minute.
No.
It is a question. Wait a minute.
No. He missed the Penn
about?
State situation.
No, I thought you said no.
I was saying when you moved from New York. I thought you
from New York, yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about when she made the move as far as running away and stuff.
I ran away when I moved from Baltimore to New York. From Baltimore.
Yes. I'm sorry. I thought you were saying that when you knew you were leaving Penn State, it hurt you so much that you ran away.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'm with you now.
I wasn't no 21-year-old trying to run away. Nah.
So how we get back to? Okay, we're back to New York. Okay. When you found out you were moving to,
Okay, go to what you were saying.
I was saying the whole situation with you transitioning from going from Penn State and then coming back home. How did you feel then?
I was heartbroken. Well, this is what happened. In February 2007, while I was at Penn State, I had already figured out that I was going to at least spend another year. That was my 4th year there at the time. And I was like, I need another year to make sure I have all my stuff together. You know, I wasn't really on track with where I needed to be with my classes. And then my grandmother passed away suddenly. Didn't see it coming. So that took a hard blow on the family, not only emotionally, but financially.
Okay.
Responsibly, I felt at the time I was going to take some time off. Penn State has what's called a world campus, so you could take classes online. I was just going to take classes online, be home, try to be there with my mom situation. But then things just kept spiraling. Like, we kept losing people, to death and then separations in the family. So I was like, nah, I just need to be here full-time and dedicate to this. So I started working full-time as a long-term substitute teacher in Baltimore County Public Schools. And I just stopped going to school for a while. Somebody came to me at my job and said, you need to finish school. You're a bright young lady. You can't just be out here telling these kids go to school and you're not finished yet, which made sense.
Yeah.
So she said, I have a way for you to get into Morgan State University. And at the time, I was like, I ain't trying to go from Penn State to Morgan State. I just was feeling the way about it. Like, I wanted to finish where I started. Like, I had such a connection to this school.
Right.
So I said, sometimes you got to swallow your pride and do what's best, for you and suck all that other ish up.
Definitely.
And I did. And in 2008, I enrolled at Morgan State University part-time. I started taking classes there. They kind of just threw me into this, what was at the time a random field, which is TV production, telecommunications.
Okay. And
from there, I had met some pretty amazing freaking people. And I would always say, this is what I was going to talk about earlier. I saw this status from one of my fellow Penn Staters who was pretty much just saying, they were downplaying the HBCU education and degree.
Okay, we're going there. Okay.
That hurt me because not only do I have my degree from there, but I was one of the few people that was able to experience both being in a major institution, such as Penn State University, and then go to Morgan State University. And both institutions have their pros and cons. Like Penn State, amazing school, you got a chance to do a lot of other things and learn this large scale and meet all kinds of people and this and that. And it was great. But then I never got the attention like how I got at Morgan State University from my professors, from my, classmates, and the opportunities to like work in the mayor's office and, these internships here and there, and just the hands-on and the attention, the phone calls. Hey, how you doing? I got this for you, or I don't have this, or you need to step your game. It was a real uncle, aunt conversations, heart to hearts, and like I never got that at Penn State.
You get them old black women that's working the administration office or something like that.
And then those were the cons. It was like the business side of it. But the business side of the Morgan State University experience was like
customers as far as 10. Like once you get somebody face to face, it's fine. But waiting in those lines at black schools, man, it's like when you try
because it's just so unorganized. They weren't really a business oriented.
No.
It wasn't a business-oriented environment whatsoever.
And
Montebello,
then trying to get like
you said he set it on fire though?
Trying to register for classes and stuff. That's the worst. Registering for classes is the worst in a black school.
You don't do it online?
Yes, but then
wait, you didn't go to Morgan?
I didn't, but I went to a black school.
Okay, but still, it's Winston-Salem. Like nobody cares about that. That's all I'm saying.
You want to do the rest of this interview? You got to defend. You gonna let your school? You gotta defend. Just say something.
He has nothing to say. What is it? Armani? Armani the Ram?
Yeah.
Nothing to say.
Who graduated from some state of purpose? Of Morgan State.
What is your question right now? I don't even know what you're saying.
Who graduated from that school?
You said on
Who
purpose?
is that? No.
Who's
on
Kwame
purpose.
Nkrumah? Oh, the ignorance of the black
I
man.
know who it is, but outside of Baltimore, who the fuck is that?
Oh, wow. He is really a lot more. You have no idea. You have no idea, my brother.
You ever heard of Louis Farrakhan?
So who gives a damn?
Wow.
Bean pie, my brother?
Wow. Okay. All right. Thank you. He went to win something.
I know who he is.
Yeah.
So what?
We're not going to see. That's what's wrong with the black community now. We're trying to compare.
There's so much wrong with the black community right now.
We
So
met
much.
we met each other, and we work together. So we're Louis Farrakhan, I think, is from I want to say the Virgin Islands. I could be wrong, but we do have this device called the internet we can check.
I heard it works really well. But yeah, Penn State versus Morgan State is a lot of pros and cons, but I love both experiences.
I like that. Cool. I like that you got the experience. That's one thing I always wanted to experience is because I was going. Well, my situation, I didn't really want to go to college at the time that I was going to college. I just picked Morgan because my mom went to Morgan and it was easy and it was a quick thing. But
He said it was easy.
it was down the street, around the corner. But that was the thing I heard about College Park. I heard that was like that too, where it's so big, you're like a number. You're not really a name of any sort. So that's one thing I do love about Morgan is the teachers and just Dotson and all of them. They just, shouts out to Dotson, man. All of them, they just really looked out and they want you to win. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I heard horror stories about those big schools, when you trying to graduate and you don't have nothing. Oh, okay. Or you need help here.
No, they're not looking out for you, especially the minorities. We was the bottom of the barrel. And you really had to fight to be up top, unless you knew somebody or you made that connection through an organization or something or the other.
And to answer your question, he's actually from Brooklyn, New York.
Shout out to Brooklyn!
I knew she was going to do it. He's not. He's from the Bronx.
Okay, you're an idiot. Just so disrespectful.
Yeah.
But he's not from Winston-Salem, so it really
he went to Winston State on a track scholarship, by the way.
Okay. Shout out to him. He running from the man.
Yeah, I thought I heard he was from New York. Actually, I searched him after watching the Malcolm X movie. Yeah, it came on recently. I love that movie, man.
Sad.
Yeah, it was. I hate seeing him get shot at the end. It really blows me. It's
no pun intended.
Get your hand on my. I've learned a lot about Naelis in this short amount of time.
I don't know what you're talking about at all.
Get your hand out of my pocket. That and then he just oh my gosh, that was just, I was like, man, I would have rather it been anybody else, but your own people. Oh,
sacrifice one sometime. That's what it's
no.
about.
Well, the part I don't like about that movie, it's only one part I don't like, is I don't like the ending.
Did we just say that?
No, what I mean is
the credits?
The actual ending where it says, I am Malcolm, man. I hate that part,
you don't
man.
like that
I hate that. That could have been something else, man.
What would you, if you could change the ending of Malcolm X, the movie with Denzel Washington, what would it be?
I would have probably replaced it with the ending of
I'm dying to hear this answer. Serafina?
No, Scarface.
So you could change the ending of the Malcolm X film to the ending of Scarface. Really?
Yeah, or at least Terminator 2, yeah.
I hate you.
Or Terminator 2, definitely.
Whoa.
He finally dies and he gets put into the little lava and it's he puts his thumb up. Yeah.
Too bad it was based on a true story, Al.
There is that one problem. Yeah.
What happened?
Yo, it makes sense. You need to talk into the mic, brother.
Oh, T-1000. Were you in the Terminator and all that?
I think I saw the third one. It was the third one, right?
Then you've been led astray. You need to see. You need to see number 2.
I've seen clips.
See number
of
2.
Wait, what year did 2 come out?
It came out 92. And now
okay, you're just gonna snatch the mic and just give a year.
Because he's thinking. I mean, that's what we do.
Oh, so it was 92?
I think it was 92, 91, 92.
Okay.
That movie was huge, man.
I'm not saying it wasn't. I just didn't. At the time, I wasn't let me go see Terminator 2.
No, that movie was one of the biggest movies in my childhood. And that movie.
That was one of the biggest movies in your childhood?
It really was.
You know what was crazy to me?
What's that?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I don't know why, but that movie left a really. Did you?
What'd you say, Mike?
Mike.
Second week in a row.
Mike Dutton this whole time. I'm Mike. Wait, what is that guy's name?
Rick Moranis?
Rick Moranis.
Nah,
I hate him.
that
Even
movie,
in Ghostbusters,
that was like
I
such a
hated him.
fantasy
I
as a
hate him.
kid. Like, these kids just got shrunk. They're in the backyard. Can't nobody find their little asses. They just in the grass everywhere. I know, but that was like such a fantasy. It was just like, wow, this is so crazy, the adventure. And like,
What's the fantasy going
no, I mean like it's a fantasy genre. I didn't mean like it's my fantasy to go get shrunk and be in the backyard. You're not following? Okay, cool.
No.
But I think it was just crazy. Like, as a kid, you're sitting there in the theaters, you know, you're watching this, and you just want somebody.
Now that's a movie that should be in 3D.
You know what? Have you ever been to Disney World, Epcot? They have Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. It's based on the movie.
I think I have gone to that.
Yeah, it's 3D.
But that place is so like dead now. Like, if you
When's the
go-
last time you've been back to Disney?
No, I'm sorry, I'm lying. I went to Universal Studios. Have you been there before?
I've been there before. Last time I've been was 2010.
Oh, damn.
I went in like 2001, and it was like everything was old back then.
They've revamped it. They have new roller coasters. They have new
God.
rides. You haven't been on a new ride, Return of the Mummy. See,
I just hang out. I just hang out at Island of Adventure. That's all I do. But enough
Yeah.
about that.
Y'all ride roller coasters?
Yeah,
Both
yeah,
of y'all
yeah.
ride roller coasters?
My first roller coaster was a volcano at King's Dominion, 2003, I think, is when I went on it.
You
I was
a late
terrified of roller
bloomer.
coasters before. Yeah, I was scared.
Really?
Terrified.
I just don't like waiting in the lines, man. I hate that. I hate waiting in
Lazy
the lines.
light skinned people. See,
Why it's got to be a color thing? See?
that's what it is. That's the world today.
Jigaboos versus the what?
Jigaboos.
You know, and oh yeah, let's speak about her favorite show, by the way.
Martin, greatest
Yeah.
show ever. Mickey, don't you look upset about that?
I love that show.
I was about
I
to
do, but I get mad at how much they keep you holding it the other time. Pause.
I'm about to say,
pause.
wait a minute now.
Pause.
He was holding it the other time.
Pause. Super pause.
Talking to the mic.
Super pause.
Good.
Pause for her. Pause. I lost my freaking thought. Oh yeah, Martin,
Yeah.
because they keep playing it over and over and over and over again.
Because
It's
it's a
just
classic.
like, yo, it's on Century. It's on
TV
MTV2. It's on TV1.
it is.
I'm just like, yo, come on. Just give me a
So
break.
what's your problem with Martin? I mean, Cosby Show damn near on every channel, every time.
I think we've gone down a rabbit hole that we don't want to go
I'm
down.
about to say now. open
Can
up
we
the
change
Martin
the subject?
No.
Let's go back to what you
Let's
said.
go back to
no,
Martin.
no, no, no,
Did
no.
you know that I
Mickey
met
Dunn.
Tommy?
What was that
Tommy
question that you
Strong
had?
in the gas station
what
in
was the question
DC.
you had about
You're not listening
relationships?
to me though, but you're not hearing me though.
Please, we can't do this.
Go back.
Mick.
Let me just say this.
Mickey, please.
Let me just
Go
make this
ahead,
statement.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
First of all, I was one of the few people to appreciate Martin for its classic conversations and themes from an early age. In 1992, I believe it was. I think I was in Barbados, and I remember in the summer they kept listen, I was on vacation with my family, and I remember they kept advertising it all summer this show Martin was coming on. I didn't know anything about Martin before that, about who he was. You know, I just saw him in House Party. I wasn't supposed to be watching it at the time. But when I started watching the show like this, it was just funny to me. I caught the humor from an early age. He probably not gonna believe me, but like I really was feeling Martin from then. And like after that, I was a diehard fan. I watched every episode. You know,
It's in your heart.
It's there. Caught
Right
every
in the
line. I can tell
center.
you an episode is gonna be just by Gina's hairstyle in the beginning. Like that's how I roll. And if she's not an episode, I could definitely tell you what episode it's gonna be.
I never found Gina attractive.
I mean, she's not.
And you know, it was so like he would be kissing all on her, and I'm just like, why?
Apple-headed heifer. I'm telling you.
I just never found Gina attractive.
You really don't.
Gina looks a lot like my sister.
You know what she does, but I think it's more the cheekbones.
She's got the
than
facial
anything.
structure. We used to call her plate face back in the day.
Plate face.
Yeah, because she had like a
Some
plate.
hurtful things to say.
Yeah, my sister does have an apple head too. I'll show you my sister. No, matter of fact,
Shout
I
out to Sam.
Yeah.
Hey Sam, we took chemistry in
She's about to.
Morgan. She's a cool girl.
No, she's not really. She's about to give birth to her. I'm about to be uncle again.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, whatever.
She's having a boy?
She's having a girl named
A girl.
named Ava.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So,
Congratulations.
so anyway, Mickey, you had a
it
done.
was.
Mickey, you had
Mickey
a
had
done.
a done.
Mickey, you had a done about a question about the situation with the boyfriend, right?
Yeah,
The relationship.
Make sure you came back to that. Who's cheating? I'm not
It's-
cheating.
I'm not cheating either.
Oh, you're in a relationship?
Yes, I am.
Oh, that's beautiful. How
Yes,
long have
I
you guys
am.
been together?
For a few years.
Years?
For a
That's
few
amazing.
years. For a few
How do
years.
you keep it so fresh, my brother?
It's hard, man. It's really
I
hard.
should be asking her if
it's
you
very
keep it fresh.
difficult. You know, it's
then
it's
she's like,
hard
nah.
though. It's like is that really ginger?
Ginger ale on the
Sure,
bottom.
why not? But it's hard. I don't see how people do it for 20 years. I don't see how people do it. Like I commend all couples that made it because it's a different time. You know, it's a different generation. It's like Soon as somebody do something you really ain't rocking with, people like, I'm done.
I
All
agree.
right.
I just had this conversation maybe 24 hours ago with my current boyfriend. And we were talking about, again, just how times are changing. People don't really stick around. And I got to pull up this quote while we're talking. But, yeah, it's pretty much about people just ready to give up. You know, they don't really want to fight for what they supposedly love, what they care for. Al, you're a married man, so, like.
Yeah, he's completed the circle for it.
Why you put my business out there like that?
I mean, I'm just saying.
I'm trying to get
your wife is
groupies.
amazing. I like her.
You don't need that. You don't need that, man.
What's
It's
wrong
not a
with you?
beer, man. It's a ginger ale. You don't need to open it
Is
with
this,
a bottle
is this
opener.
ginger ale?
Yes.
People that don't know what's going on right now, Mickey Dunn is opening. Can
I
you read
offered
the
Mickey
brand for us, please? What does that say?
a ginger ale. What?
Oh, what? What? No, what? Not
No.
the key. What is the? What are you
No,
drinking?
we're not giving out any free plugs.
Premium ginger brew.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
He didn't even taste it yet.
It tastes like pineapple a little bit, though. Taste it. It's got like a pineapple. Oh, come
Okay,
on,
his
man.
face right now. He looks ultimately disgusting.
It turned into a gargoyle.
Really
it's bad.
I wish I didn't been this.
Lord have mercy.
This tastes like walrus piss.
It tastes like.
I think he said walrus, but it came out like walrus.
So,
All right, here goes the quote from Naelis.
listen to this quote. I mean, you guys as men, you tell me what you think. A person can love you and still cheat the same way we love God and still sin. What do you think about that?
That's
Real thoughts. What do you think about that? Again, a person can love you and still cheat the same way we love God and still sin. Do you think it's comparable, first of all? And if so, why? Speak on it. I'm now the host of the show. By the way.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's that's a true statement. They can love you and still cheat.
Elaborate, my brother.
Well, if you dissect the word love,
It'd be L-O-V.
no, and you turn it around, it's really evil. But
Oh my gosh.
deep shit. So yeah.
Never again. Not snapping.
No.
for them.
All right.
Not
So
at all.
no, because sometimes people can have sex just for the sexual part of it, like with somebody else.
What? I said love. What?
Right,
What?
'cause that's
love
just-
is this sex?
That's cheating though. If somebody has sex with somebody else,
I
it's
mean, no,
cheating.
but so all right. So that's why I said from a male perspective. I guess
Right.
that's how you see it.
Does
Like,
that make sense? Am I making sense?
not for me as a female. Like I see
I'm
cheating
saying,
in different
like
levels.
a guy can love
For me, it is.
his girlfriend, but then go and cheat, and it just be like a sexual thing.
Okay,
Like,
so it's purely physical
yeah,
for men
it can be.
most of the time.
No.
Okay.
But when
Mickey Dunn is saying
no,
this.
but when I'm going with the whole cheating thing, a lot of it can be strictly physical.
Okay.
Just to,
But it doesn't mean he doesn't love her any less. It just
No.
means that he's looking out for himself. When love should be a selfless act.
I don't know what that.
I'm just saying.
Should it be?
That's what I'm saying. Everybody's interpretation of love now in 2013 is also different. I don't want to say anybody is right or wrong. It's just how you choose to define love and act on love.
Yeah, I mean,
Love is to me is more than talk. It's a lot of action, a lot of sacrificing.
well, it should be. I mean, you look at it, like if you look at
Sacrificing is the biggest thing for me when it comes to loving, and that's not just in relationships, family. Like the reason I know my mom loves me is because of the things she sacrificed. It's more than her just saying, "Naelis, I love you.
Right.
You know, have a good day, honey," or
Right.
checking on me. You know, like the sacrifices she's made. Like you have to love somebody in order to do the things
Right.
that she's done. When
But,
you have relationships, marriages,
right.
as such, sacrifice.
But see, there's different types. But two, I mean, look at the Indian culture. The Indians don't have a word for love.
Are you Indian?
I'm not.
Okay, so let's talk about what we do.
Wow. Anyway, man, my goodness. I'm just
you
saying.
have to see Mickey Dunn back.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's playing on the conga drums or
A
what.
little bit of a drum roll.
Yeah, I'm just saying like they don't have a word for love, but they just show it. You know what I'm saying? That was my
Okay.
whole point before I was really interrupted by Naelis.
Don't ever call me Naelis again. Ever.
So all right, let's get back to the subject. Do you get what I'm saying? So I agree
No.
with you that love is a act. It's not necessarily the words, and I mean everybody knows that.
Everybody doesn't know that. Everybody does not know that, believe it or not. Seriously.
You know,
It's deep. It's deep out there.
yeah, it is.
It is very deep.
But you think it's comparable to, how people sin when it comes to their love for God? Speak on that.
There's different types of love, like I was saying. Like you got agape, you got
All right.
you got
What were we talking about
phileo.
before? What was
No, seriously, this
All
is
right,
some
I
real
believe you.
stuff.
What was your
See,
question?
when they
earlier,
asked me a
Mickey?
question, and then when I try to answer the
First of all, who
question,
was they?
when they least,
See, let me talk about pronouns real fast. Okay? Pronoun usage can be offensive. And I'll talk about my Facebook status that went down earlier.
You brought up an excellent conversation piece.
I was playing with you.
Let's finish it.
He's so cancer, sensitive, emotional.
Mickey,
there it is.
Go ahead, Mickey. It's on you.
He's throwing up
I
those
love
signs in
these
the back.
Naelis' hand motions. And we need a camera for this.
I talk with my hand. He's still doing it like they can see.
Yeah, I mean the hand motions. Or the silence was hand motions. I don't know. You know, I think love, it's hard to define. I don't know.
What about for
I
you?
think sacrifice love for me.
Mm-hmm.
I go with love as sacrifice. I think it's definitely I think loving a person. I think it's like it's definitely. I think if you start at love, you gotta start at loving like the crust of a person.
You gotta love
you gotta love the bad. You know, just love the part that is hard to so I think
I'm with you, Mickey, as she's rummaging through my phone right now, looking at my browser search and stuff like that. I'm like,
I'm trying to get rid of this picture.
I'll delete it for you. All right, go ahead, Mickey. Go ahead, Mickey. I'm listening to you.
Delete this. Pass my mic back. Thank you. Continue. I'm listening.
You gotta love. Somebody told me you gotta love the crust of a person.
The crust, like the crust in their eye.
The burnt crust of a person. So I think it's like, you know, when that person, I don't know, does that stuff that you don't like, you have to like love them so much that stuff does not necessarily bother you as much.
Okay.
Because the love is so strong. But I think that's very rare. I think it's a rare thing to love somebody to the point that the things that annoy you don't make you want to be like, I don't want to be around them all the time, or I don't want to talk to them all the time, or you know. So it's definitely a deep thing. I think everybody's searching for that love, like you said, your mom. Like you can speak that without any question. Mm-hmm. And I think like a person that you're meeting and you're still growing to know, and nobody's gonna know you as long as your mom knows you, you know. And I think it's hard because I think we subconsciously are comparing love to like love that's like almost, it's no way that you can compare that love to that love.
I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? Because God forbid your parents.
That motherly love either.
That is true.
Well, especially since you came out your mom's vagina. I mean, there's an attachment there.
Let's get a biology book. First of all,
I mean, you were in there for like 9 months. You know what I'm saying? And it's a different
everybody
connection.
doesn't have that bond. Everybody's not a great mother to provide that kind of love either.
True.
Shout out to the good moms though.
Yeah, shouts out to Mama Dunn.
Doing their thing.
Shouts out to Mama Dunn.
Not me though.
But I mean, but that's the thing. I think that's the thing that you're comparing it to, because when you're thinking about love, I mean, some of people's first views of love is their parents. You know what I mean?
True.
So it's kind of like, I know when I'm looking for, a woman, I'm looking for somebody that cares for me like my mom cares for me. Mm-hmm. But I think it's almost like a catch-22, because you're not gonna find somebody that's gonna really.
Or will you?
I don't think it's possible.
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't think it's possible. Okay. I think you can find as close to a balance as possible.
Okay.
But I think, the way your mom can take that ish off of you, like she can take the worst parts of you and still like love you. Mm-hmm. I don't know
if that. Her.
Yeah, and you're not a piece of just a person that you met. I don't care how long you've been with them. Mm-hmm. They have a limit. That person has a limit of how much they're going to rock with. You can't just do whatever. And I understand that, too. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm going with?
I ain't paying you no mind. I'm listening, though. He's just going
to
nod and say yes.
No, I was looking at my download.
Yeah.
No, I get what you're saying, Mickey.
Right.
That's what I'm supposed to say, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Cool. All right. Yeah. Right on, brother.
Oh, my God.
He put his fist up when he said right on, bro.
Yeah, he did not. What was your question about cheating, though, earlier?
No, that was it. It was it. It wasn't about cheating.
We
answered it.
There was different levels of cheating in the Nameless book. What are the different levels? So quick bang, would that be breakup? Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
oh my gosh, she grabbed my penis. And I don't know what happened.
Wait, what? Let's bring
What
it
are
back.
the rules for the boyfriends when they're with you?
My boyfriend rules?
Yeah,
okay.
like, some people like you got to take the
The
phone numbers out the
ultimate thing, and this
phone
to me will cover so many grounds, is respect. You respect me in a level of, how you talk to me, how you interact with me, how you treat my family, people that matter to me. Like, that's respect. You can't just feel like you can say and do as you please, and it's not going to affect me in any way, emotionally or physically, and that just be it. Like, I have a strong personality. Anybody that's with me, even as my friends, they know that. They understand that. I'm not one to bite my tongue often. I'm growing as an individual. Al is grimacing right now as I'm saying this because he doesn't agree. But I think that I've come a long way. I think that I'm able to let my guard down and allow, myself to just embrace the wonderful things that come, as opposed to looking for negative things like in guys and what have you. But I think that cheating is a no-no for me. Physically, emotionally, like, I'm really, really connected to it. Like, let me tell you, I had a really bad experience my high school into first year college boyfriend, the one I was telling you about that I moved to Penn State for. This boy, I was with him for a year and a half. Didn't know he had a girlfriend for 2 years. It was like, damn. What? Didn't see that coming. This is like my first real love. And yeah, we're going to have a family. Young, stupid, that kind of love. And that kind of, like, it was so many levels of cheating within that relationship itself. I was just like, nah, never again. It's not going to happen. And I think that's where I got my intense spine from. It was just like, nah, we're going to have conversations. We're going to talk. I'm an effective communicator. I'm getting better. And it's just, nah, you can't do that. Nah.
Are you a submissive woman? Do you submit to your guy?
I think I have become that on a small level. Before, no, it was just like, do what I say. I was very controlling, I won't lie. But I think that it wasn't really helping me.
Too, right?
Yeah.
You were pretty aggressive.
Yeah, very much. I still am. But I didn't think it was hindering me. It really was in so many ways. And I realized that from my most recent ex. And I just had to take that in and just say, you know what? Step back. What am I doing to make this, even with a person I thought I was going to be with, like, end up the way it did? What was my part in it, and how far did it really go? And I had to really do some self-evaluation. And right now I'm in the process of that, even still in a new relationship, but I'm cool with that. And I'm okay with that change.
Are you normally the person that, like, ruins the relationship?
No, actually, because I don't tolerate a lot of stuff. Like, if they mess up, I kind of just leave, and I have this crazy bounce back factor that I used to talk about. It's just like, I just move on. Like, I don't give myself a chance to, like, cry and, like, be upset about it. It's just like, all right, holler at you. And people are, like, trying to figure out, like, how we could fix this, that, and I'm like, nah, I'm out. Like, and I just move on. Not necessarily even to be in another relationship, but just to heal myself. I keep myself busy with artistic stuff, and sometimes other people's company, like, just, hanging out and just being busy, so I'm not preoccupied with the thought of what went wrong. Which I think was played a part in me not really figuring out even my small parts in it, even if they didn't mess up. So, yeah.
Would you say you kind of semi got an icebox type of heart? Would your heart be slightly
where it used to
icebox?
be? Yeah. No, not anymore.
That was
it
one
was
time.
an icebox. It was. I was real cold. I was a cold person. That started from that first relationship I was telling you about. After that, it was just like, nah, I don't really care about anybody or anything, how you feel, what I said to you. I was rude. I was very rude and disrespectful. Not proud of it, but that was a part of me growing as a woman and what I had to realize. And, I was missing something. I was missing a lot more that I didn't realize at the time. But, yeah, I'm growing.
That's cool. So do you feel like do you feel like you're whole at this point? Is Naelis at the whole?
I don't think that I'm whole at all. I feel like I am healing, and I'm okay with the process and how it's going. Like, before I used to always question why I'm not where I want to be and yada yada yada. But because I've purposely let my guard down and I'm okay with what's coming, like whatever God has coming my way, it's just like I'm embracing it. And I've been fortunate to meet some really good people as far as my relationship, as far as my friends and new opportunities. So that's a product of me being open and willing instead of, having this guard up and being all cold and everything. So it's benefited me.
So if you're aggressive, then the guy that you're with is probably not aggressive.
Now, I had a person, all right, we're not going to say the name. Mickey, you know who he is. I was dating a person with the same temperament as me. That was probably one of the most, angriest relationships ever. I mean, arguing every 5 seconds, every day. I hate you. I hate you.
That can lead to some good things.
Oh, but it didn't.
Really?
Even when it was a good atmosphere, it didn't lead to no good things. So we're gonna keep it at that.
Damn.
But yeah, I think that that was not good. That was a really unhealthy, like atmosphere to be in. Like that didn't really help me in my process of growing as a woman. I was stifled at that point.
Okay.
But I got out, obviously.
So what kind of guy do you need to like, be the ultimate Naelis? I mean, I'm pretty sure you can do it without a guy. But what kind of guy?
You call me gay, son?
No. For you to be, who you need to be. What kind of environment do you need from a guy to get there?
The guy I'm dating now is really great.
Oh, so we have a boyfriend now.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Where's he? Really, where is he?
Yeah.
He's in Brooklyn.
Oh, where Brooklyn at?
So we don't have to question her moving back to Brooklyn. No.
Now, this move, Al can tell you, was talked about prior to me dating this guy. Like, I knew this guy. He went to Penn State with me, so he's a Penn Stater.
Okay.
Ironically, he went to the same junior high school. He's a year older than me. Didn't know him then.
Right.
But it's weird how things just kind of come back. Like, his birthday's in October. He's a Libra. Shout out to the Libras. They're cool. And I went to his birthday party. Didn't even know that that's the party I was going. I was just like, all right, well, I'll go. My friend, was like, we're going to this party in New York. I was like, all right, whatever. We went to Club Amnesia. And I was like, cool, we're going to go. And I was like, I saw him. It was good to see him and that was kind of thing. He hit me up the next day. And, back and forth, here and there. Nothing major. And then in February, like I had, for the new year, I told Al I was just trying to, like, clean out old things in my life and yada, yada, yada. And I hit him up one day, just took that initiative because that's my personality. And we've been talking ever since.
So you'll approach the guy if you're feeling him like that?
I think, matter of fact, every relationship that I've had, I have been the person to initiate.
Whoa. That's a first. I've never heard that before.
That's crazy because that's all I do.
I've never heard that before.
But I always tell a guy if I'm interested or I'll hit him up. Like, I've asked guys out all the time. Well, not anymore. But, yeah, all the time.
And that's because, it's like, I've known a lot of women, they look at that and like, no, even if I'm feeling him, I like him,
why miss out on an opportunity?
I'm not gonna. That aggressive thing is really you're gonna go somewhere in life for real.
See, but on the flip side, see, there's a
What
flip
you
side to
say?
that. There's a flip side to that.
Speak on it.
Because it's happened to me before, but in the back of my mind.
But you're an emotional Cancer though. That's different.
I'm not
See,
emotional. I'm not
I'm
emotional.
emotional.
I'm not emotional. No, but on the flip side of that, for me, when that situation happens, I always think, I wonder how many other guys she's done this to.
See, you gotta be secure with yourself, though. Be secure with yourself.
She gives you the cold cut. Like, if she's giving you the cold, if she comes at you.
Yeah, like she's like, hey, I want you. I want you.
It makes you feel like a little awkward.
First of all, I don't come with nobody saying I want you.
I'm just saying, like, I want to pursue a relationship with you. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, first of all, like, I ask you out, like, they're just having conversation.
What's up, shorty?
I'm not disrespectful. I have a small conversation. Like, I could be pretty charming. And if we engage in small conversation, I find something like, see, the thing is, the benefits of being an actress, you can turn it off and on. You know how to approach. You can read a person's personality, know how to act on the spot, know how to, respond to something stupid they say, fake a laugh, whatever. But if you're really interested, especially it starts with a physical thing for me. Like, if I physically am attracted to you, then I'm going to say something to you.
Is it true about actors and actresses? Are they always getting it on? Is that true?
Are they always getting it on?
Yeah.
What?
The way that we said it. We took it to that high school.
I'm just curious. Are they always like
getting it on?
Are they always doing it?
I've never heard that.
You never heard that?
No.
I have heard
so
that
what is this
more
now? People that
like,
are actors and actresses are always getting it on?
Yeah, like people, that's like an old high school thing. Like, like if you're in like was it the drama club? Yeah. They're all having sex with each other.
Well, I definitely thought it was more of a freer spirit type.
That could be it too.
A more freer spirit.
Who's
type
watching this show again? That depends on how that's why I want to know. So I know
just say yes or no. Yes or no.
I plead the fifth.
No, because I mean, I could
understand. Say the fifth with the TH. You gotta go
fifth.
Fail?
I plead the fifth.
Fail? I understand it because I saw a play yesterday. I went to go see a good friend of ours, Shanae, who we mentioned earlier.
Okay.
Her play.
6 stories.
Yeah, and you can sometimes you can feel the energy between two male and female characters.
So you think the people that were on set, like you think people that they act with are sleeping together, or is it just people like me as an actress?
No. Like if they're in the same, if they're actors, they're in the same bubble.
So actors and actresses with one another.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, I'm not saying like
I thought you meant we were just freaks in general.
Well, that could be the case too, but
Some of them are.
of course. But
I didn't say me. I said some of them.
No. I was just saying I knew it.
what I'm saying is that true or not? What do you think? You're in that field, so what do you think?
With the people I worked with in the past, I've never known anybody to have relations that were like sharing, like in the same cast or anything like that. Like I don't know anything like that.
Okay, I guess that's a no then.
I mean, that's just my personal experience thus far.
Okay.
That doesn't mean it doesn't happen though.
All
I'm
right.
just saying.
Absolutely.
Do you think it's hard to, like, if you're playing a romantic role, do you think it's hard to turn it off? Like if you're kissing the person, do you think it's hard? Because you have to act as if you're in love. You have to portray and have that come out on the screen, right?
So I've only had one small kissing role ever. Ironically, it was with an ex at the time. It was for a project at Penn State, and my current boyfriend was in the audience. So it was really, really awkward for me.
Did that turn you on?
What? No. Actually.
I really thought that was going to go, what? Yes.
Okay, so let's bring it back, because y'all are disrespectful right now.
How's that disrespectful?
I'll just use that word loosely. But yeah, I think that, that was a hard time. I remember that. We were doing a scene from Carmen, the opera.
The hip opera?
You were Carmen?
No. I had a smaller role because I was supposed to be co-directing and I didn't hold up my end of the bargain, but that was a long story. It's because I was trying to drop the class. Whatever. It's really irrelevant. But the person in the play that was playing the lead, he wasn't really an ex-boyfriend. It was somebody I was talking to, like, seriously. Does that make sense? We had no titles. But yeah, talking to this guy, we broke up. I was dating another guy. He came to support me, come see the play or whatever. And we had a kiss. But it wasn't like an intimate kiss. It was just on the lips, but it was just like
a peck.
It wasn't really a peck. It was a strong on the lips kiss.
Biting bottom or top?
Oh my gosh. It wasn't that passionate. It was Carmen. We were reenacting something that would have been done back in the day. So they wasn't doing all that.
So a little press. Slight press. Slight lip press. That's not that bad.
If your current boyfriend is in the audience, for me it was weird at the time. I wasn't
yeah. I mean, I definitely would kind of be like, is there any way we can adjust that script so that she's not,
that's part of being an actress. You kind of just got to roll with it sometimes.
Y'all can't give a hug. Y'all can't have your cheeks touch.
I don't think I would ever. I can't say I wouldn't, but it would be hard for me even at this time to do an on-screen romance scene. Like, I don't know how I would do that. Like, I have to be connected to that person in some way, somehow. Like, it was easier then only because I was already connected to him. That wasn't, like, abnormal. Even though I had
a lot of that wasn't really acting. I mean, it was acting. But
I was already familiar with what it would be like.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, now, like, if somebody just came in the room and was like, this person you're going to kiss, they'd be like, what?
And we gotta talk to your agent. Like, agent, please
I need a
tell
double.
them that I can't.
That's just right now, but who's to say that's gonna be me in a year or whatever?
But if the opportunity was big, I mean, we're talking. Let's say Denzel is producing this
people
film.
drop Denzel's name, like he's a great actor and everything, but like I wouldn't be pressed to kiss no Denzel. Like
no. I'm not talking about you kissing him. I'm talking about the opportunity is big because Denzel can get the movie pushed to the front screen. So he has a romantic scene. I guess I'm comparing it to some person has this play where you have a romantic scene, and the end result of this might be, okay, you get another bullet in the stash. You get another thing to put on your resume. But it's not the same as in theaters. This summer, this could be your big break. This could be something that puts you on the map where you can take this and go to different movie theaters. You can really go all the way. I'm just saying, would that change your mind as far as doing the romantic scene, as far as just a kiss?
See, now, with me and my craft, it's really not about the fame and the fortune. It's really about the message and how I feel it's affecting the audience that I'm trying to reach. So it would depend on the piece. Okay, honestly.
So you don't care, like, as far as, like, your artistic journey, you're not trying to, like, go, like, your journey, you don't really have like a particular goal. You're just doing it for the love.
I want to influence people creatively. Like, I really work with the youth a lot, like in the school systems and artistically. I want them to be involved in the arts, to keep them occupied, to keep them to be able to not only explore things but to provide that outlook just to the youth that they don't really have an opportunity to do as much as I might have growing up in New York, or the experience of things I have culturally. Even here in Baltimore, like they're limited in so many ways. The generation of technology, you know, everybody's on the internet and doing stuff. They're not really hands-on touching anything, learning anything, and growing in that way. It's like, okay, well, let me give you an open mic night for teens, which is what I've done last summer. So the kids can go out there, express themselves. They have so much to say, you know, talk about it.
That's pretty cool.
Let's share it with one another. You know, video production, little quote-unquote music videos we do with the kids. Just they write their own little raps and what have you, and then, you know, produce something like that. But that's what I want to do. Like, I want to be able to direct them, guide them in that way so they can have a voice, and it can be a positive voice artistically. That's really my ultimate goal. It doesn't even have to be about me. I'm doing this because I like to do it, but my real passion is with the kids and getting them that voice that I'm able to have. Like, I want you to be able to have that. We have these situations now, people like Trayvon Martin and everybody they don't get a chance, like you said, to speak, and they're put in this bubble of little black boy, little black girl, or even just any minority, period. So now it's like, how do we change that stigma? How do we change all of that and make it a positive one? Because, I mean, for real, racism, whether people want to believe it or not, is alive and well. It's
True
very
indeed.
prevalent, even in 2013. It's just so much more, like I was telling Al, more passive-aggressive. Like, that's the kind of racism I don't like. I'd rather you be a blatant, you know, bigot and just come in my face, I hate you, darky, whatever it is. I definitely said darky, but, like, I just don't understand. I was telling, I had this one girl I went to high school with who is a passive-aggressive racist. I don't care what she says. Like, that's just how I feel. That's my interpretation.
Can you give just a small example of her passive aggressive?
So she'll say stuff. I wish I did think I had the screenshot, but it's on my laptop. But she pretty much was just saying, like, when people were rallying after the verdict, I bet you all of them are down there protesting. They don't even know where Florida is on a map. They don't even know what the cause
definitely deserves a kick in the throat.
I didn't finish. Hold on. It gets worse. They don't deserve all this rallying, all this other stuff. And people were responding back and forth like, I bet you put a job fair down there, they'll all run away. Or we could sell them bottled of water, you know, let's make some money off of them. Or it's only hot out there. They're not going to be out there that long. You know, they don't like to be outside. And like, really? So, you know, I usually don't get into heated debates on Facebook and address ignorance, but I felt it was something in me. It's like, I got to say something. And I was very tactful in how I said it. But, yeah. What, Al, you have something to say?
I do. And this is just a little side note. It's like
pop-up
video. Remember that?
They still have
Pop-up audio. You know that day was the number one day for people getting blocked after the Trayvon Martin case. That was the biggest day of blocking ever in the history of Facebook.
Was it?
Yeah.
That is a really good fact. Thank you for sharing that, brother.
No problem.
Brother Al.
Assalamu alaikum. Message.
But you know what? Because I think a lot of people, I think that case really it put out a lot of.
It gets worse. Her story gets worse.
Oh! Continue on. Continue
I was
on.
just saying, like, she said what she had to say, you know, whatever. I addressed it. I told her, you know, you should give the people the benefit of the doubt. Like, are you down there rallying? Are you saying anything? Whatever is your cause, like, I'll support it, you know, but just let me know the last time you had a cause for anything. And it went on to say, like, pretty much like, Naelis, well, what are you doing? I told her everything I pretty much just told you on my, you know, with the arts and everything, how I get the kids motivated and what have you. I'm like, well, what's the last cause? I don't care if it's the same cause as mine, but what's the last thing you stood up for? What do you rally for? What is your purpose in life? What's your mission? No answer. You know, so I screenshotted it. I wasn't mad. It was just like, this is your opinion. Cool. Y'all have your ignorance and what have you. I shared it with my Facebook family and friends who then were like, SMH and this the ignorance and I'm educated. And they were spitting off facts. Everybody else on her page was more like, it's my opinion. You know, these people out here doing whatever. And she showed me this long Facebook message about she didn't want people to find her and she was private and she didn't want people looking at her profile and her friends' profiles, and she felt like there was an attack approaching shortly. But nobody on my page was violent whatsoever in their context, you know, their content or whatever. And she went on to say that she wanted me to take down this screenshot and my opinions were not valid and pretty much everything against what she was saying. Like, the bark was just big. That's all it was. And I didn't respond, I guess, accordingly. I was going to actually type it. I was at rehearsal at the time, and I was going to write her back and let her know how I felt about it. She reported me to Facebook. She reported me, had me taken off the book for 12 hours. I've been on Facebook since it was just a wall where you could delete other people's messages, 2004 when it first started. I've never been reported on Facebook, ever.
What?
And for my opinions, though, I felt away. I was really...
They took you off, how much did they set you, they put you on timeout for how long?
12 hours. I had so much to post that night, though, about, like, my show. Like, that was the night I was supposed to be promoting my Artscape show, for, you know what I mean, for, like, business. And we just finished, I was shooting a video that night for When a Black Man Smiles. I couldn't post anything. They blocked me. They showed me my screenshot as to why I was blocked. I violated whatever terms. You know, people sign that stuff all the time. I agree to the terms and policies. They don't pay attention.
Fuck Facebook.
But I definitely violated something, and that heifer had me taken down. I was hurt.
You know what? In this day and age, that's almost the equivalent of getting arrested and going to jail. So you are a revolutionary. That's like going to a protest. Yeah, my black fist is up. Yeah, you like the Rosa Parks of Facebook.
Okay, you're pushing it now.
I mean, I'm just saying, that's like going into a protest and the police coming to arresting you.
You see how
you got my respect.
Just find a way.
You got my respect.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Naelis.
He got the fist up over here.
My Nubian sister, I respect
This guy. Wait, I was upset about that. That's that passive aggressive racism I was talking about again. Like, you have all these things, these pronoun usage and everything you want to say. Come out, and the thing that she said before anybody said anything was like, I don't want anybody to think I'm a racist, but you don't have to address, like, if you preface anything with I'm not a racist, but like you're
racist. I wish we had the sound effect for that. Like Hot 97 got this thing where they go, you're a racist. I think that's like the funniest thing ever.
Find that clip.
You're a racist.
But yeah, it's the world we're living in today, though. And it's real. Like, people don't understand. I've seen so many people, black and white, on my timeline just like, oh, it's not about race. And I'm like, I need y'all to wake up. You may not have directly been affected by any racial slurs or any incidences, but this stuff is real in so many forms. And, like, in the workplace, on Facebook, in schools, you know, just on the streets, wherever, in the grocery store. Like, it's crazy out there. It's real.
I agree. I think the time that I really realize how far we've came is definitely every time I go down south. That's when I really get the.
How far south are you going?
Man, I got family in
Winston
Columbia,
Salem?
South Carolina. I go a little bit further down. Shot. And if you see my partner to the right of me, his face says it all. Down south in South Carolina, like. It's just when you see those Confederate trucks and you just see you walk into places and it's still, you know, the Confederate flag is at the City Hall in South Carolina, you know, and it's like that.
Al has something to say. Get your boy.
I hate talking about me being from the South.
So don't talk about it.
Wait, no, I gotta say this though. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. To be honest, being that I'm from the South and I came up here, which is still the South.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it's still the South. You live in Baltimore.
Being from I'm up further north, I'm gonna let you know this is the South,
it is.
buddy.
So I'm saying all that to say that I've experienced more racism here than I have down in North Carolina.
Have you really?
Absolutely. And it's because a lot of the people that are, Caucasian think because they grew up with black people they can say certain things. You know.
Yes, the comfort level is.
It's a comfort level that they have here. Whereas there were a couple incidents where I had with racism, but it was just like people saying just stupid stuff. Nobody ever called me the N-word to my face. But, I was on an all-white soccer team, and we had situations every once in a while.
Soccer, interesting.
Yeah.
Talk about that later.
I was leading. I forget. Yeah, so, but no, I mean, but it's different because I was raised in a black neighborhood. So, I went to all-black high school, But, for all the racism that's going on, which is very prevalent, things are changing.
They are.
They're changing for the better. I mean, I just saw a clip on YouTube about the whole Cheerios thing, which I thought was amazing.
With the kids, the real point of views, like how they felt about it?
Yeah. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I saw it.
It was pretty
good. They showed it to your everyday kid, like to see how they would perceive the commercial.
Right. And the next generation is going to be all right.
Are they?
I'll show it to you after the show. But it's I think the next generation of kids is going to be all right. I mean, a lot of stuff, the problems that we have here in Baltimore are systematic problems with, the black community here. And it's sad, but it is what it is. I mean, I don't know. There's got to be a way to change it, but I don't know if we'll see it in our lifetime, with the black community here in the inner city. There's a lot of good things going on in the inner city, but it's a lot of, like, a good year. For people that don't know, a good year in Baltimore is 250 murders. That's a good year. When I first got here, they had 306 murders, and it's all in a general area, but nobody wants to fix the problem. So,
well, I out of these three I've been born and raised in the Baltimore, BLDAMORE.
Like, what is that?
Baltimore. But yeah, I remember a day when it wasn't as bad. I think what happened was there's a generation of kids that came after me, and these kids I watched. I think when I got out of high school, we had stuff that happened. Like, I was involved in some stuff, but
What school did you go to?
I went to Western Tech.
Oh, my sister graduated from there in 2011. No, she's a baby.
Wolverines.
Wolverines.
I was supposed to go to Woodlawn, but
I went there for 1 year.
oh, you went to one?
Painful.
You know what?
You 03?
Yeah, I am 03.
Okay, shout out to 03.
Yeah, class of 03. Yeah.
How old are you, like class of 89?
Shot. I'm class of 01. Carver High School.
Same thing.
Carver Yellow Jackets. When some looking on.
Oh, Yellow Jackets and Armani the Ram. Y'all on the roll. Go ahead.
It's cold out here in these streets, but I had a little homie that was like my little brother to me, and he was bad. He was just super bad. That class of kid, that generation of kid, his generation was the beginning. They made Security Mall have security. When I used to go to Security Mall, I remember it was just it was white people. Not to say, but it was just a mixture. It was more of a melting pot, and there was no security, and there were no incidents. I remember when going to the movie theaters at security, it was cool. Woodlawn at the time, I mean, it's still one of the top schools as far as its magnet program or whatever. You know what I mean? But I remember when Woodlawn was good, no matter whether you went to the regular version or the magnet version. But these when he would come back and talk about kids getting stabbed at parties and stuff, that wasn't something you might get into a fight or something like that, but it was never you had to worry about getting stabbed. Right. That was something I moved around a lot when I was a kid, so it was that was something I dealt with in the city more so than I dealt with the county. But even the city, there was an older generation. There were neighborhood associations. The 80s, the only thing I'll say the 80s did make, it was everybody had an uncle that was hooked on crack. Or everybody knew an uncle that was hooked on crack. That crack thing had it where it was and I think that had a lot of kids where they didn't really have the parental things that they needed. Because I always, you'd have a grandfather that was cool. The grandfather was upstanding. He worked. He didn't have that issue. But his kid had a drug problem. And that kid would have a kid, and these kids was running wild. Those kids grew up, and when they grew up, they were some wild kids.
Kids stabbing kids at parties.
Kids stabbing kids at parties. And now downtown is going so crazy and just all that stuff. You got to put the sock on. You got to put the sock on. But those kids went crazy. So I think that's the problem. Baltimore is unfortunately built in a different way than most other places that I've been to. You'll have a section that's crazy. Then you'll have a section that's beautiful. You'll have another section that's crazy. Like Park Heights is a Jewish part of Park Heights. It's beautiful. Oh, it's nice. It's all this beautiful stuff. You hit Northern Parkway, bam, you in the hood. And it doesn't change. It doesn't blend. So they keep it contained in these different areas where they make sure that it doesn't really milk into the other areas. So I think the kids are disenfranchised. They're wild. And I think that the city, instead of looking for art programs and, it's closing all the PAL centers and doing all the things, is basically making the kids even more wild. Instead of investing in art and all that other stuff, they just feel like arresting the kids is going to change the situation. These kids that I see now in my old neighborhood, they don't care about getting arrested.
No.
They don't care about shooting people and stabbing people. I go to my barber shop, I see a kid today, he'll be gone for 6 months. He'll come back, get his hair cut again. It ain't, you know what I mean? It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. I'll tell you a wild story. I was getting my hair cut, right? It was a guy that was there the last Tuesday I got my hair cut. This kid, literally, as I'm getting my hair cut, so I get my shape up, Then I get my hair cut the next Tuesday. I'm looking at the news about to get my shape up, and it's him.
Wow.
I look up, and it's him. And mind you, you just regularly, you get on your phone, blah, blah, blah. And today, a guy got, shot, da-da-da-day. And I'm looking, and me and my barber like, is that? And I'm like, yo.
Did he say anything? Did he move? Did he respond to? It's
something that it's almost like you're numb to it. You're just numb to it. It's almost like an everyday thing that somebody that, and it's definitely, but I also think I think it's a plan to some degree. I think there are people that keep it because the schools suck. Unless you go to Poly or City or you test good in those schools. If you go to Walbrook Junction, which is a really, really bad school, it's now something else. I just think if I go to Howard County and you go to Columbia and you got Long Reach and Wild Lake, even though that's a little wild, but it's still good schools. Howard County has one of the best educations. So it's like the opportunity is there. You're going to have some wayward youth, don't get me wrong, but the opportunity is there. From where I'm from, if you don't test good out of middle school, like if you don't have good scores in middle school to go to City or Poly or Carver,
Western Tech.
Or Western Tech. I had to test again to Western Tech and get that opportunity. It's just not there. And I think once you take hope away from people,
I agree.
That really kills it.
Being
that was
in,
my
the
long
school
tangent.
System, no, that's fine. Being in the school system, like I see these kids, they get heartbroken when they don't get into the school of their choice. It's like, damn, like where do I go? Like they cry. I don't want to go to Woodlawn. I don't want to go to my neighborhood school. It's really sad. Like you should be all right wherever you go, regardless of what community you grow up in or what's available to you. Like everybody should have an environment for that child to feel like they're gonna receive the best education and feel safe wherever they go. Like that's just a thing of the past, though.
And that's to piggyback on what you guys are saying. I think that might be that's totally a detriment to the city. That sorry, I got church socks on, but I need to do my laundry. So anyway, like
they slouched.
Now that I think about it, it's sad. It's sad because I went where I'm from. I went. You guys are the worst. You guys are the worst. Anyway, like where I'm from, in good old Winston-Salem. Of course, you guys know I'm from Winston-Salem. Your school was determined by where you lived. You know what I'm saying? It was you test out where you wanted. You could, of course, if you wanted to make that trek to go to another school. We had like 9 high schools. And I think I went to the only black high school there was. And the sense of pride that we had that we went to Carver High School. I mean, we had Carver shirts, Carver socks.
You took pride in your school, though.
We took pride in our school. And that's the one thing I see here in Baltimore. The kids don't have pride in their school unless you go to like a Frederick Douglass. When I saw there was a lot of pride at Frederick Douglass, which got a bad rap a couple of years on HBO. But they really turned their program around. But, for me, I didn't have the opportunity to not go to college. And I can only imagine a family that has a kid who knows they're not going to go to college.
So let me ask you this question. You talk about school pride and like whose job is that? Leadership? Like people in
it's the government.
School leadership or like city?
It's the government.
I think
because I'm saying like the school itself.
It can be the parents, but it's because I knew that my dad went to Carver. My granddad went to Carver.
But what made Carver so special? Like besides the fact that they went there,
it was the history of it. It was the only black school, and we had jacket pride, is what they called it. And we were sponsored, which I don't know if Baltimore is, but I think it's a great idea that probably be implemented here. We were sponsored by corporations. So the reason why we had book bags that said Carver on them, you go to Walmart and get a Carver shirt because Sarah Lee was sponsoring our school.
How big is
Sarah Lee does clothes too, not just food.
Nobody doesn't like Sarah Lee.
Yeah, exactly. They sponsored our school.
Bye.
They sponsored all our stuff.
But how big is? But Winston-Salem, it's more small. It's like small, right? It's a small town, right?
It's fairly small. It's the 4th biggest in North Carolina, 3rd or 4th. Okay. But it's we got 9 high schools. Well, probably 11 now. Not 11 high schools.
Okay.
So it's not like a small place. But yeah, I just think that there needs to be that influence of the community there. When we had parades, everybody came out.
But the question is how you turn a school, like you're talking about Walbrook or any school with those bad reps, even Woodlawn right now, how you turn that around? Like I have a school, for instance, I worked at Southwest Academy Middle School, right? And when I first started working there, remember I telling you about the long-term stuff thing? I mean, blood's coming up from everywhere from Woodlawn. I mean, with 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, just trying to, put them in check. And it was a scary place to be. Kids did not want to come to school. There were fights, finding kids having sex in the bathroom. It was not the greatest place to be.
I think it happens in all schools, I think.
I mean, it was to a point where it was like, we were taken over by the state.
Wow.
And the new principal that came in was like, no nonsense. We're going to make it's a public school. We're going to make them wear uniform. They're going to take pride in their school. And parents were calling up for the next 2 years like, I don't want my kid going there. How do I get them out your school? And now I can't even tell you the new name of it, but it's an engineering school pretty much.
That's
Everybody
amazing.
wants to go to Southwest Academy.
That's amazing. And that's a good thing. I mean, because it starts from the top down. Like I think you're a reflection of your faculty and staff. If they don't want to be there, if you don't have teachers, like everybody has that one high school teacher.
Lean on Me.
Like Mr. Clark, Joe Clark.
Put
the chains on the doors.
Cold red.
Right. Mr. Clark.
You take care of your responsibility.
Right.
Ooh,
yeah.
Go ahead, do it, jump.
Yeah.
Smoke crack, don't you?
Side.
Just find that on YouTube though. That's like the greatest scene ever.
That's a great movie.
The bathroom.
When he did the scene when he got the teachers came. What was it? The teachers' lounge, and all the teachers were there. It was like, you may sit down.
Classic. Mr. Darnell, flip that table over.
That's Michael Beach. Shout out to Michael Beach.
You know him? That's your friend. That's a friend of yours?
I know. It's a friend of a friend.
A friend of a friend.
Yeah, I think his son. My friend's.
You don't really know him, do you?
No, I don't. My friend, Michael Beach's son is his godson.
Wait, say what?
Michael Beach's son is my friend's godson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, but it does take a principle. Like the guy that said Frederick Douglass, man, he's taking charge and saying, hey,
that's beautiful.
We're gonna do it. I mean, they got stuff that. I mean, I went there for career day.
Oh, that's the 3D printer.
They got a 3D. They got a 3D printer there. Nice. A 3D printer. You know what that is?
I never seen a 3D printer ever.
It's crazy. It's like you put it into a program, and whatever you make in a program, it can make, because it takes the parameters and
it can make a physical.
It can make a physical thing from the computer program. These kids, I went there. I was amazed. Now, granted, this school was touted as one of the worst schools in the United States. Yeah. Within 4 or 5 years, they have turned it around. These kids are getting Adobe certified in high school.
That's beautiful, though.
Like, I don't know if you guys know what I mean by Adobe certified.
I know what you mean.
Not you, yeah.
Oh,
but,
wow.
you know, like Adobe, Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects. To get certified, you have to know every single program proficiently. I'm not even Adobe certified. I've been working on this program for like 4 or 5 years. Mm-hmm. You know, I probably could, but I just never went through the whole process.
Right.
But
they're making sure the kids had that as a trade. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, they have hope, and they have it set up in divisions. Like the way their school's set up is, you're either going in one path is technology, and then another path is social services.
Okay.
So, and you have to get accepted into those different schools once you become a sophomore and a junior, I think. And they actually have a courtroom inside their school. So when there's certain problems and issues,
the kids solve amongst themselves.
The kids can solve it amongst themselves.
That's
it's an amazing. Now, granted, they got they're in a process of. They were in a program that said, "Hey, what happens if we throw a whole bunch of money at a school? What would happen?" And it's flourishing now, but I think they got one more year left until that money's gone. So.
But it's the fact that they changed the image already. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they started that, so now they can build from that.
Yeah. The seeds have been planted. I mean.
That's what it is. Yes.
The seeds have been planted. And the thing about that too is that when I went for career day, I asked the kids what they wanted to be, and I mean, when I was growing up, I shot for the stars. I wanted to be mayor. But it's funny, a lot of these kids now, they don't want to be anything major. They want to be like, one guy said he wanted to be a truck driver. Mm-hmm. One guy wanted to be a bus driver. Like the people, you know, I don't know what that says about the kids, but I think it says. Well, I don't know if it's that. I don't know, or I think
that's what they see as a big deal.
They see that as a big deal, and it might be a subject of the economy the way it is. Mm-hmm. Because the guy said, I saw my uncle being a bus driver, and that really inspired me. So I want to be a bus driver for the city.
Person that's closest to them in their house too. I mean, it's
So
they see who influences them.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like I was going back to what I was saying about, I knew I was going to college from a very young age.
You just knew.
I knew. I had no choice. My mom already told me, you got no choice. You got to go to college. Mm-hmm. Some kids don't have that opportunity. They already know that their parents can't afford college. Right. Now, I was granted I had a music scholarship, that got me through. But, you know, I wonder how it is if you know you're not going to college. What would that change your life? All right, I'm going to school. I'm not doing that well. I might as well sell drugs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I got to survive. I don't want to be one of these little slouch guys out here.
Yeah.
So it's a sad situation, but that's a major, real situation for a lot of kids here in Baltimore. They see the fast money. They see the attention they get from the girls, or they see the attention they get from the guys or whatever. So it's a cultural thing here that needs to change. Mm-hmm. And it's sad, but it is what it is.
The change starts with you. That's all I'm going to say. So what are you doing is the question. I didn't really want you to answer it. It was just a general to the public.
She went poetic for a minute.
NBC
she
style.
went poetic for a minute.
The more you know.
So we need to wrap this thing up. Any questions you got? We're going on 2 hours now.
Oh,
no,
wow.
I
thought you were supposed to do the wrap-up side.
It's 1:32 we doing.
That's not 2 hours, though. That's an hour and 30
I know we're going to wrap. We got to land the plane.
You weren't good at math.
We got to land the plane.
The plane or the plane?
So, Mickey, is anything you want to talk to Naelis about? Anything you want to tell us about yourself? Is there any secrets you got?
Any secrets? I'd rather you guys ask me questions. I'm not really good with just coming up.
All right, so
you ever beat somebody up?
Have you ever beat anybody up other than your sister?
Dang, that was going to be my answer.
Have you ever got beat up?
No, I've never. Actually, I'm not a fighter.
I can't. Okay.
I'm like, I guess people get so, I wouldn't say intimidated, but like, I got a big mouth. You know what I mean?
Very
like,
true.
and I'm very aggressive just in my tone and in my verbal ways. So
Right.
it doesn't really escalate.
Is that a front though?
No.
Are
Like,
you like a softie at heart? I think you are a softie. Me knowing you, I think you are a
people
softie.
say that now.
I think you are. Nah, I don't think she got no hand. I think she's a softie.
All right, so whatever you want to think is cool. Just don't bring it to the floor. I mean, then it's on.
You know.
So he over here boxing.
So yeah. So any tragedies happen to you on like any movies or anything like that you've done?
Okay, you asked that question because you definitely know. All right. So I'm not afraid to talk about it. I was on the set for our 48-hour film project.
Yes.
It was going smooth.
Directed
Slid
by
up to
yours truly.
Whatever.
Tell them again.
Directed by yours
Doesn't
truly.
even matter. I'm going to talk over you. 3 o'clock in the morning when I went to sleep. I came back at 8 o'clock in the morning? 8
o'clock was the call time.
Yep. Definitely had everything ready. Had the costumes. I brought the props. You know, we were supposed to be like a little party entry scene. I brought this. I don't even drink. And I brought this big, I don't even know what size it would be. The biggest bottle of Bacardi you could possibly have.
Yeah, the big bottle. The big
I mean, the huge one with the handle.
Yeah.
You got jug.
Yeah.
Sure. And
I think that's 1 gallon, I think. But go ahead.
and I had a bottle of Ciroc. I was holding a Ciroc bottle. And the person that was playing, my friend in the scene.
Grasshopper.
Yes, shout out to him. He was holding the Bacardi. And Al and them kept telling me this crazy block. And I was like, nah, it's not going to work. But whatever, I'll go with it, you know. He wrapped around. So let's just say we pretending we were blocking everything. All right, we luckily weren't shooting because this would have been on film. Would have been tragic. And he brings his arm around with the bottle in his hand. And from his height comes down, hits me on the side of my head with the bottle. I fall to the ground. I'm like,
all
oh
up
my
on
God.
my legs, like
I'm about to die.
those apocalyptic movies with the guy with the gun and the lady holding on to him like on his legs.
I couldn't get up. Like I couldn't get my bearings, anything. I thought I was going to really like lose sight in that eye, or like eventually go unconscious. It was terrible. All I felt was like my eyelid was shut, my head was throbbing, and it was just painful. I didn't know how I was gonna get up. I couldn't get up. Every time I tried to get up, I was holding on to Al's leg. I was just coming right back down. It was painful.
You were holding on to Al's leg?
Yeah, because he was right there where I fell, and I felt and like grabbed on his leg and was like going down, 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 down. And after a couple minutes,
Tried to save you in that
nah, he just let me hold on to his leg and look down below. I'm sure I couldn't see him because my eye was shut.
Yeah,
but
it was terrible.
I got up slowly but surely, and my eye it was swollen a little bit, but it wasn't crazy.
And then she did the bad thing. She went downstairs. Then she snuck off and drove home, which you're not supposed to do. And on top of that, when she got home, everybody was trying to find her, make sure she's okay. Her phone was off. She goes to sleep. 2 things, people, that you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to drive, and you're not supposed to go to sleep. She could have been dead.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody came for me, though. I was asleep for about 5 hours.
Damn.
And I was sleeping like that for like 2 or 3 days. It's like it was long spurts of sleep.
That's called a coma.
So I'm out of it now. I'm cool. My sight is back.
I see how you get
better
down.
than ever.
I see how you get down.
Tough.
I see how you get down.
Thank God I'm not
just
dead.
sit down for, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I try.
Yo, your arm is detached, son. Your arm detached, son. Yo, we gotta get you to the hospital. Nah, man, I'm good, man. Just give me a wrap, man.
I just needed some ice and some
Can't
time.
wrap it up, yo. Your bones exposed, son.
Shut up.
Your bones exposed. Nah, I'm good.
I was good.
All I know is if the war come down, yo, I'm hiring Naelis.
You changed my name to Naelis like 3 times.
I'm put
Naelis.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Okay,
Don't try to kill me. Your foot's kind of close. I don't want to get kicked.
Shut up. I'm gonna get my man Al over here to take care of you.
All right. So let's see. What other questions do we have?
Yes.
So how many times have you ever been in love? And if so, how many times have you been in love?
Now here's the thing. My definition of love has evolved.
Oh, here we go.
I'm being real with you. When I thought I was in love for the first time in high school, that whole beginning, like what? Best thing ever. Did y'all have Discovery Zone out here in Baltimore? It's like
We're getting dizzy
Like,
at Discovery Zone.
remember that commercial?
Yeah.
Discover what I can do on my own.
Okay.
I could just swing
Okay.
close
All
my
right. Can we finish this
Yo,
story?
that was my song. Okay, but that was like my haven when I was a kid. Like, I loved these. That's how I felt when I was in love my first time. Like, just, going down the slide. Everything was free.
Fall into the balls.
Into the balls. Yeah. But whatever, yo. That was my love then.
Wow,
It
so
evolved. We're
weird.
moving forward. We're not going to talk about balls anymore. Yes, we're moving forward. And then after that, it was like, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of people won't admit to this. I always knew that the relationships I was going to have, except for my most recent ex, I always knew they weren't going to last. Like, I went into them knowing, like, yo, I'm not going to be with this guy forever. So it's whatever for right now.
That leads me to believe that you would cheat because you knew it would.
I never said I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
No, I mean, like, most of my cheating, that sounds bad, like I did it all the time. I definitely didn't. But it was, like, emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hit up other people. We'd had conversations, that kind of thing. I'm not a physical cheater.
Is that cheating though?
It is.
'Cause
As
I'm
a woman, if I'm confiding in another man, if I'm talking about my relationship, if I'm talking to you about everything in depth and we're going out and that's cheating.
I guess.
That's my opinion.
I guess I'm cheating then.
And off the record,
I guess I'm cheating then.
other things have gone down.
Okay.
Not necessarily all the way, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm being honest.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being honest. I ain't mad at you.
So what's the extent that a guy can have like girlfriends, like friends that are?
I don't mind.
'Cause I have a lot of girlfriends.
My boyfriend right now has female friends.
We've hung out together.
Yeah, that's
I've been
fine.
at her place before.
What does this have to do? He's asking
I'm
me.
just saying, like, you're right, but I'm just saying, go ahead, proceed.
I'm saying everybody's relationship is different, their level of trust and stuff. My current boyfriend has female friends. It doesn't faze me whatsoever. Like, as long as you're respectful to me and they're respectful towards our relationship. But if the chick gets out of hand, I expect you to deal with it before I have to deal with it. That's the only thing. That's my rule. You don't even need to let me know, oh, she says you take care of that shit. Excuse my language. I'm so sorry. Since it gets tense for me.
I like that.
You take care of it.
That was that new. You take care of that shit. I like that. Go ahead.
Anyway, you take care of it before I have to take care of it. That's all it is. You don't disrespect my man. You don't disrespect me, my relationship, period. That's it. Y'all could be cool, group outings, all of that. That's it. No, they didn't say that.
Sleep in the same
No.
bed.
That's my sister.
No
She's sleeping in the
disrespect.
bed. Nah,
Yeah, you know what I'm
negative.
saying?
I ain't.
Making
Don't push it,
babies.
y'all. Don't push it.
Oh, sorry.
Don't push it.
All right. What other questions? Anything you want us to know about you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's a secret that? I mean, when I say secret, like something that people be shocked to know about you.
Can't say it on the air.
Oh, that one. Oh, I know that one.
I can talk to you after this about that. Something just happened.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
All right.
But
when she leaves, guys, I'll let you know what it is.
please don't. You'll be all types of sued. Yeah, it's extreme. But let's see.
Oh man, she scared me. See ya.
Oh my gosh.
It's the cleaning
Got
ladies
the
here.
Mexicans in here.
They're El Salvadorians, guys.
Same thing.
That was very racist.
You just happen to know where they're from, so that's the only reason you said that.
Yeah. Anyway,
You said yeah.
Let's see. What else can we ask Naelis?
Please.
Oh,
Don't mess up my name,
fun
though.
fact about Naelis.
Stop changing my name.
Her mom.
My name is Naelis. First off, for those that don't know me.
I'm sorry. Let me just spit off some stuff I know about Naelis. I've only known
Yeah.
Naelis for about 2 weeks now, and I've learned a lot.
This guy said
Her
2 weeks.
mom's name is her name. No, her.
Yeah, you're
Her
right.
name is her mom's name backwards.
So my first name, Naelis. Yeah, my mom's name is Celine, Silean, and my name is Naelis.
Yeah,
She actually
that's
got the
pretty
name
gangsta.
from her high school music teacher, who used to call everybody by their names backwards for whatever crazy reason he had. You know, artists, they just do crazy things like that. And she always said, hey, I like that. So if I have a daughter,
That's nice.
bam.
That's nice. Naelis was actually in the running for Miss Caribbean.
Miss Caribbean Metro, USA.
There you go. She was.
I was Miss Barbados,
Miss
2012.
Barbados.
I actually won Miss Congeniality.
Nice.
Yes, so my peers, everybody in
Those
the
were-
pageant voted for me,
Great.
and I got $250
Nice.
just for me.
You
and
got to see the
lights.
pictures, man. It was a pretty great thing to see. Yeah. So Miss Barbados.
I hate you.
Yes.
Yes.
Shout out to the swimsuit section.
Yes, my maternal side is from Barbados. My maternal grandparents. So they're from Barbados, a beautiful island. Have you guys ever been?
Come on, we're not
No,
rich.
you're from Winston-Salem, right? Okay.
I'm just,
Mickey, your turn.
I'm just trying to make it day to day.
Right. On the streets of Baltimore. Nah, but Barbados is a beautiful place. Y'all should go visit, especially with your wife. Like, that'll be a nice place. Beautiful blue water, the great food, people, so sweet. Hey, I've never been to baby making ages, so I'm sure
Okay.
people like you guys it could be.
So being that your family's from Barbados, do you know any like voodoo tricks?
Voodoo tricks?
Or
Where are you
anything-
getting these
I mean, do you know
stereotypes
any?
from?
Do you,
Barbados is not usually associated with voodoo.
what are they associated with? Rihanna.
As of right now, yes. I'll be honest with you. But it's a Caribbean island.
Nice.
Not just, but, you know, good music, soca music.
Nice.
How you familiar with Alison Hines?
Not at all.
She's like the queen of soca music there. Like, that's her title.
Okay.
And she's from Barbados.
Nice.
Uh,
Nice.
It's a beautiful island, beautiful water, you know, weather. Of course, it's hot, tropical
Right,
weather.
right.
But the people are supposed to be like some of the sweetest island people you'll ever meet.
Gotcha.
Is it true island women are crazy?
I think women are crazy.
Hey, I agree with that. We got something we can agree on. Finally.
I'm just,
Let's not do that. White people have taken that. And they just did like a little fist bump, and then they did like the blow up, the dynamite. I don't know when people
said
thought
dynamite.
whatever it's called, sparklers or whatever it's called.
Sparklers, though?
Yeah.
Let's call it TNT while we're at it. I
Yeah.
mean,
When did you realize that women were? I mean, when did you have that realization? Because I think there's a lot of women out there that would say that no, we're not crazy.
think that women-
there is a science to the crazy, and it's
women
not
are
crazy.
passionate and we're emotionally driven creatures.
What's the craziest
And,
thing you've done?
As far, I've never said five. See, I believe in karma also, so I'm scared in some respect to do certain things that I might be thinking in my head, like when I'm angry at a guy. Like if a guy does something extremely bad to me, then I'm like, oh, I hate him. You know what I mean? Like I'm angry, but I'm so fearful like whatever I do is gonna come back to me that I just punk out and I don't do it, which is my softy at heart, I guess. Nah, never did
What'd you
that.
say?
I've
Throwing
smacked
hot
a guy
grits.
before.
Whoa!
How
Two
many? I'm about to say
different-
how many guys? 'Cause I know you like a
Two.
smacker.
I look like a smacker. Nah, it's happened the first time. They both were for cheating incident or like incidents where it was another girl involved. And that was my reaction. I don't even know why. Like I blacked out, just like, "Kapsh." Yeah, that's how it sounded, just like that.
Like that?
Kapsh.
How did he react?
They didn't hit me back.
Mickey-
No,
Mick
no
asked, how
restraint,
did
no
he
nothing.
react?
It was just a hard. I'm heavy-handed too, so you can imagine. So slapped him in the face.
In the face.
And it was just like, wow. Like, it was an initial shock. Like, I had my guard. See, I grew up with all males. And my cousins, they're the Moore brothers. That's what I call them. They always say, if you're going to hit a guy, be prepared to get hit back. You just never know. Everybody's not raised like certain people like, oh, I'm not going to hit her because she's a girl. So I was on my guard.
Oh, so you weren't prepared.
Yeah, I was prepared. Like, I knew, like, even though I blacked out, it was just like, I hit them. They may hit me back. It may be an actual tussle. I
Right.
don't know. But
Right.
something was about to go down.
Yeah.
I was fortunate
You're
that they
prepared
didn't
to
put
go there. If it had to go to a wrestling match, you would have
Hey.
the Biggie 4 leg lock.
See, like
Me too.
my stepfather was a correction officer. I know a lot of like defensive moves. I know how to get out of certain holes and things like that. So I was taught that from like I was 7 years old. So I'm not. I feel a little bit like I have an upper hand sometimes. Yeah, all
Right.
of that.
I hear you, man. That's what's up.
But man is man. You
So,
never know.
so where do you see yourself 10 years from now? I mean, are we still gonna be friends or enemies?
I don't know
or-
about that.
All right.
No, but I really feel like I'll be at the next level creatively. I'll be where I want to be, at least in that same in the direction I want to go.
Okay.
I've influenced another generation
Okay.
of children. I've begun my legacy already. I feel like it's going to grow from here. I'm I'll be settled. Husband, hopefully, with some little seeds. We shall see.
Gotcha. So,
with the current guy.
If that happens, if that's my blessing, then it is. I'm not going to knock it.
Is it going to be with the current guy?
How many months are you there?
He's asking how many months have they been together. I don't know why.
We've been talking. I remember I knew him from Penn State, so I've known him for like some years. We didn't start dating until recently, though. We've only.
Count the years, or you just count from when it was announced?
I used to be into the counting thing too, like, oh, this many months, this many years, this many weeks. Like, I'm just embracing the moment. Like, we're together, and I'm happy right now. I don't have anything like negative to say. Thank you.
Congratulations. Actually.
Thanks. So yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we can wrap this thing up. I mean, I wish there was more we could talk about.
Sad to go.
This is fun. Yeah.
Wish I can come back sometime.
You'll be in New York. So
later for you. I'll be back though. I mean, you let me know.
Yeah. Okay.
How often do you guys do this show?
Like about to be twice a week, I think. We got Laser Bitch Wednesday. So
okay.
Yeah, we got a couple people.
Who else? You just said one person.
I mean, we're still lining everything up. We got Laser Bitch. We got Eric. I don't want to say too much.
Say
Nah, I don't want to say too much. Yeah, let's.
Eric B and Rakim. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah. Yes.
Lies.
Yes. We're bringing back Tupac. Yep.
Okay, stop.
Big wigs.
But yeah, I have some show ideas we can run past you. I think the audience will love them. I think it'll be successful, and you guys would be great.
Are you sure you want to do this? Because they might take your idea.
No, I'm not going to talk about them now. I'm saying like when we put them out.
Oh, okay.
The audience will love
them. Cool. Well, shoot, I got nothing else to say. I mean, it's been a pleasure having Naelis here to share her story.
It's been a pleasure being here. Like, I really feel like I'm at home with
and it was short
annoying
notice.
big brothers. It's cool.
It was short notice, too, because, it was, yeah. So, happy she's here. Mickey Dunn, you got anything to say, good sir?
Good sir.
Make sure when you're out here to wrap it up, B. Wrap it up.
I hate you.
Naelis, parting words?
Peace, love, and creativity. That sounded so corny. That's the first thing that came to my mind. No, but seriously, I live by this quote I learned in the 6th grade. To whom much is given, much is required. Take that and embrace it, my people. Peace out.